In 2023, a 21-year-old man named Mason from Nevada bought a pet tiger illegally. Let me stress this, illegally. He raised it in secret, telling himself, it's all under control. I got it. Every time the tiger growled or showed aggression, he laughed it off saying, it's just playing. Silly tiger, it's just playing around. But one day, Mason forgot to lock the cage. The tiger attacked. He barely survived. True story. He barely survived. But the scars on his body and his soul will never fade away. The flesh is just like that tiger. You think it's under control. You think you're playing with it, but one day it will bite back. It will cost you. Point number one, the flesh, it always makes you an enemy of God. The flesh always makes you an enemy of God. Scriptures, Romans chapter 8, verses 6-7. Pay attention. This is a very important word. And many Christians, they never grow spiritually. Paul explains this in Corinthians. There was a church that had maybe been 4 or 5 years, and he came back to check on his church, and he found out that they were still practicing a lot of sexual morality. They were still doing a lot of idolatry, and he began to study them because first you have to identify the problem. If you're struggling in any area with sin in your life, first you have to identify the problem. He identified the problem with the Corinthian church, that they were a carnal Christian, and then there are spiritual Christians. Spiritual Christians are more mature and they are led by the Holy Spirit. The Spirit of God controls their life. Carnal Christians have been regenerated. They have received the Holy Spirit. They're saved, but the flesh still controls their life. The church in Corinthians, they were carnal Christians. Now, if there's things that is going on in your life, you have to identify the problem. Are you a carnal Christian? Look what Paul says in Romans chapter verses 8, 6-7. It says, for to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace, because the carnal mind is enmity against God. Imagine trying to drive north while your car's GPS is locked to take you south. Man, that's what walking in the flesh is like. It pulls you away from God even when you think you're going forward.